Round 2.
Vlog 5.
Round 2.
And the reason why I'm saying round 2, guys, I screwed up the first vlog of number 5. But that's okay. We did have food.
We'll never get it back.
It was delicious. And the good news is it was the first time I ever had it. It was Casey Joe's barbecue. It was the most beautiful Zman and Rocket Pig I've ever had. No, I didn't eat the whole sandwich. We split it in half, okay? So don't worry, for those that are worried about my health. Alright, but we're going to do a quick recap of what happened this week.
Scott Drew's not a great coach. Baseball, the Royals are off to a hot start. The A's are hot. The Yankees suck. The NBA playoffs are around the corner. The NFL draft is going to be dope. That's it.
You sure?
No, I'm just kidding, man. That's it in a nutshell.
That is literally what we talked about. So yes, Tyler hates the fact that Baylor won. He respects Baylor, but he thinks Scott Drew is one of the worst coaches to win any championship in any sport.
I think it's annoying that everybody had Baylor and Gonzaga in the championship, and then Baylor and Gonzaga playing the championship. Congratulations, you're a brilliant fucking genius for picking the 2 best teams in the world. Scott Drew, what you've done at Baylor is amazing. Congratulations, man. That program is dead. You brought it back. You're not a good coach. Your X's and O's suck. You're a good recruiter, good program builder. No coaching. True coaching doesn't really matter at the top level of college sports anymore. That's a fact. That's all I have to say about the tournament.
2021 in the books for the NCAA tournament. Looking forward to 2022.
KU almost lost by 40. It was fucking dope. But yeah, well, next year.
We got next year. Always next year. Always. Because we're used to saying that here in Kansas City. Especially when you're a Royals fan, which Major League Baseball is in its first month.
Easy transition. Yes. Easy to get over it. Great first month. The excitement's there.
10-7 record.
Winning. 10-7.
10-7 record.
It took 40 games in 2018, whatever, for them to get to 10 wins or whatever. Something crazy like that.
It did. And so but the chemistry is there. This is looking really good. The pitching is looking kind of shady to start with, but we did suspect that. So the question was going to be the pitching. So, but to have a lineup this potent on offense, though, really does make up for a lot of. Brad Keller should thank every single person up and down that lineup in that first inning.
Brad Keller has been pathetic. I would just say that he's 3 starts in. He had that one good start. Brad Keller's got to get going. Danny Duffy's been really good. Junis, 2 out of 3, has been pretty good. Junis battled really well the other night. But I think more so in the Kansas City market than the other market for baseball, I think a hot start is crucial.
No, it's key.
It's crucial to grab our attention.
Mm-hmm.
So for the most part, we are a fan base that gets lost pretty early if things don't go well. So it's very important that they have this start at 10-7.
Yeah, and it's really funny because around here it just feels like baseball is kind of bland. Like you see that baseball's going, but it just doesn't seem so exciting. But I just have a feeling that and I will reiterate this, is that the AL Central is not that hard to win.
The Royals aren't playing that great right now either, and they're 10-7.
Yeah.
So they're just they're gonna get better. I mean, they're gonna start clicking on all cylinders, which they haven't done. Whit Merrifield at second base has been terrible defensively. I mean, the defense as a whole is not what we're used to, because even when the team was losing in those 4 years after the World Series, they still played great defense. I mean, that was something you could count on. The defense has been disgusting. Whit Merrifield is terrible at second base. They need to kick him back out to right field. Nicky Lopez has played well enough. He needs to stay here at second base when Mondi gets back. And that was key. I mean, I think you can hang a lot of this hot start on Nicky Lopez and the way that he's played.
Fair enough. And the really great thing is I do love the future. Kyle Isabella has really impressed me, even though he has slowed down quite a bit. I will give that. But when you go from single A ball, never played high A, you went to single A ball.
Yeah.
You didn't even go to double A. You went straight to the pros from single A ball, which a lot of people are like, what's the big deal? That's a big jump. Okay, Double A to major leagues is one. That's pretty much your route to go, unless you need to go to Triple A to work on some things. Fair enough. But to go from single A, like summer league single A, okay, we're talking about like Nantucket, like we're talking like a league where you're developmenting, you're still growing, you're still playing against 18, 19-year-olds. He did that for not even a season. Last season, and then just jumped right into the major. So give that kid a chance, guys. Okay, I think he's going to do really well. If they believed in him, if Mike Matheny believed in him this much to keep him on the roster, there's something to this. So.
I honestly think that he might be a trade chip.
Really?
Because I think that they like Dozier. They just paid Dozier the money.
Okay.
And they also like Soler. So Soler can play some right field. Dozier can play some right field.
Okay.
I think that you saw him flip Nick Heath. I thought
That's
when
true.
I thought that when they were coming up, Nick Heath was the more talented guy than Isbell, and they just flipped him.
Well, and do you believe that he had the higher trade value at that time though, and that's why they wanted to keep Isbell?
Maybe. And I think that maybe getting Isbell some major league experience is going to bolster his value as well.
Okay, fair enough too. But
because they're at the point of the quote unquote rebuild where they're transitioning into winning and contending. That what Dayton Moore does when he stockpiles his talent at the lower levels, he's going to flip them. And he's going to get the pieces he needs via trade.
Okay.
Because they're not necessarily can spend the money in free agency.
That's true.
So whether it's with Jackson Coar or Daniel Litch or Asa Lacy or Kyle Isbell, I think the one guy you can count on that's going to be here and is going to be a focal point of this franchise is Bobby Wood Jr.
Yeah, that's the name I was going to say, Bobby Wood Jr.
Those other names, I don't think it's necessarily out of play. And maybe even somebody like Brad Keller could be flipped too, but it's way too early to start talking about that because I think this team's going to contend all summer long.
Yep. So it's going to be a great season though for us to watch the Royals, and the most interesting team so far is the A's, just because of the fact, like you stated earlier, 6 losses right off the rip. Then turn around and bolster an 11-win winning streak, which from the first vlog, Tyler went on this great little spiel about the Minnesota Twins' loss last night.
Oh, it was disgusting. If anybody saw it, the Twins had a 2-run lead going to the bottom of the 10th inning, and then the A's scored 3 runs off 2 walks and 2 errors. They didn't get a single hit. It was disgusting. It was heartbreaking.
But that's also Minnesota for you. Sorry, guys.
Minnesota is one of those weird teams because, like the Yankees and the Astros, you figure at some point they're going to turn it around. But also, like, they have their own bullpen issues. They have their own defensive issues. I mean, the one thing about the Royals is, like, these other teams, they're not playing well and they're losing.
Yep.
The Royals are not playing well and they're winning. And they're about to start a 9-game road trip that opens up with 4 in Detroit and 2 in Pittsburgh.
Yep.
Like, it's time to eat. Like, you're up a game and a half in the division. You can get out of this road trip up 3 or 4 games possibly.
Yep.
And then you start a really important stretch. You have after that 6-game stretch, you have a very important stretch against Minnesota, Cleveland, and Chicago, all back to back, and that's kind of leads you into the June 1st, and that's when you really know what this team's going to be about.
But if you're an A's fan out there, I will say this is probably not unusual for you guys to see because the Moneyball effect is real. I mean, Billy Beane has figured out a way to make a competitive team without having to spend a whole lot of dough.
Yeah.
Now,
it's going to translate to October.
Yeah, that's the problem. It's just it hasn't quite translated to October just yet. So at some point, is it going to work? Who knows? So I guess we get to see that. But congratulations to them because that's a hot streak. 11 wins to pull off right out the bat. I don't care if it's early in the season or late, especially late in the season. It's really bad. So because I always like to bring up the 2014 Royals where they had to go 23 games, 23 out of 26, something like that, just to get to the second wild card spot, just to be able to be in contention for the second wild card slot. So any winning streak in baseball right now is always really, really fun to watch.
Well, the thing with the A's is with the analytics and the Moneyball strategy is that the A's basically they look at the whole 162 game season as one game. It's so if they start 0-6, they're going to stick to their plan and things level out. But when you're built over one long, multiple inning game, it's really hard to shorten that up and win postseason series.
Fair enough.
And that's obviously been their struggle. So, when you get into October, it's a different game because you're playing best 4 out of 7. You're not playing 95 out of 162. So smaller sample size, it's a shorter run. You have to have a hot streak in that run because you can't count on the 30 games after it. And so are they finally going to do things like, are they going to bunt? Are they going to move runners? Or is the bullpen going to match up well? I mean, that's a question mark with Oakland. So even though they're one of those great regular season teams, they gotta transition it into October baseball.
You can tell we don't like baseball. Just saying, you can tell. But on the flip side of that, so with the A's doing well, you got our early prediction pick with the Yankees. Right now, starting off really, really bad. Not to say, again, we still got plenty of baseball left to play. Over 148 games left to play. So, but still, they're really bad. Yes, we understand that. It was kind of an early it's a very early prediction, but there's still a lot to play. So,
I still think that they'll heat up.
Yeah.
And I don't think that they'll necessarily be the 100-win team that they have in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
But I think they'll win 90 to 93, 94, 95, whatever. And I think they'll eventually work the way to the top of the American League's East, because I don't think the East is that strong, because I don't think Tampa Bay is as good as they're portrayed.
And you're saying that because of the fact the other teams are not as great as you think they are.
Outside
that the Red Sox are still always going to be that team that's always going to be a thorn on their side, and with Toronto being so young, like you stated. Which, by the way, I really wish we would have went to that Toronto series and watched it live and done a lot of live. Just because I felt like the Toronto Blue, that and the fact that the Toronto Blue Jays takes me back to the 1990s when you had all those kids and the last names. You had Vladimir Guerrero's kid, you had Dante Bichette's kid playing. I mean, all those guys. You're just thinking, man, this is like the 1996 All-Star game all over again.
It's like you said, their front office basically said, "Fuck it, his dad was a big leaguer." Fuck it, his dad was a big leaguer. Like, that was their strategy to building the stadium.
I'm not gonna lie, that's probably the case. So that's probably the case, and good for them. Good on them for doing that. So, but yeah, that would have been a really fun series to watch. So,
I think a month in, I would retract the Yankees being in the World Series.
Okay.
I think I would pull back on that. I think the Dodgers are good. I think that was safe. That's looking really solid.
That's looking really solid. Yes, you're right.
I don't think anybody in the National League is going to really scare them. I think the Padres. Could give them a run, but obviously
I think they're an up-and-coming team, but are they going to be are they going to scare them a little? Right. Sure, but I don't think
not in the division. But if they get into a postseason best-of-7 series,
okay, fair enough.
That could be compelling enough.
Speaking of the National League, we'll go to my boy Freddie Freeman, who plays for the Braves, a team that I followed a lot as a kid, and I tell you what, I feel really bad for him just because of the fact that I feel like the media is portraying a lot more of his contract extension than probably what is actually being said. But as a person that is always a fan that the players should make their money, Braves organization, pay the man. Just pay him. He has been your cornerstone. He has been the Chipper Jones of this team for this time. There's kids that look up to him. He is without a doubt the man for that group. It's like Salvador Perez here in Kansas City. Freddie Freeman just belongs to the Braves, and he should be a forever Brave. So just pay the man. I mean, he's going to be there. He's going to be your clubhouse leader. And I'm going to say this, is that I get Ronald Acuna is the new up-and-coming guy. I get that. But here's the thing, is that there's no guarantees he's going to be there after his contract is up in the next 4 years. I mean, they paid him early to keep him around for at least 4 years, but there's no guarantees he's going to be there. So just saying, guys, pay the man. He deserves it. He absolutely has been a Brave. He's been a consummate professional. Give him his money.
And of all the preseason heavy favorites that have got off slow starts, I like the Braves to... If I was going to bet on one to recover from the slow start, I like the Braves the most, for sure.
I do too, and not because of the Homer fan of it, but just their team lineup up and down just looks amazing. The improvements that they made to the pitching staff, the lineup itself, everything. And I think that a lot of it also is just they're trying to figure out who matches up the best in every game. And Snicker comes from that, from the Bobby Cox school of baseball schematics, similar to like Tony La Russa. I know you're not a St. Louis fan, but just saying Tony La Russa is still one of the greatest managers to play to manage the game.
Tony La Russa is one of the best characters because he's booze in baseball. That's the mad genius behind him.
Yeah,
I was like, just booze in baseball. That's his fucking life.
Oh yeah,
like he doesn't try to hide who he is. That's what it is. So.
That's true. So I just think that you're absolutely right. That I think the Braves can be that dark horse pick that ends up doing really well and can surprise a lot of people. I mean, they did give the Dodgers a run for their money last season in the playoffs, so we'll see what happens. So there's again plenty of baseball left, 145 plus games to go. We got lots of action going, so we'll see what.
I would love to see like Tony La Russa like stumble out for a pitching change and just like fall over like Boilermaker.
Watch it. You can look for that. You can look forward to that here at Kauffman Stadium.
Because one of these times La Russa's just fucking lit and he just can't make it to the mound for a pitching change. Once again, not disrespecting what the guy's done.
No. He's been an incredible manager, but boy, well, Anyways, moving on. NBA playoffs is just around the corner, guys.
Yeah, this is gonna be interesting. You know, they got a stupid ass 7-10 tournament. We go through this.
I really wish we would have seen that video because God, his rants were just incredible. The
It's just
7-10
stupid.
is
Why
just
do you
so
play?
stupid.
Why do you play 72 fucking games to not know who the last 2 teams in the playoffs are? Like, you know, after 72 games, why do you need fucking another 2 games?
Show me the money.
Show me the money.
Show me the money.
I'm gonna watch. It's
Marketing.
gonna be entertaining. And
Yes.
there's a possibility the Lakers fall in there. I mean, the Lakers without LeBron and AD, they're flirted at from 5 now. They could fall into 7 easily if they don't fucking get those 2 guys back and finish strong.
Yeah.
So I mean, that would be entertaining to see the Lakers struggle to make the postseason. That should be the heavy favorite since the fucking pandemic started.
Yep, that's true. But and I will say this, that that's not going to happen just because you think that LeBron James all of a sudden comes back for the last 5 games, and so does Anthony Davis.
Yeah.
I'm just going to put that out there. I don't know how. I think Davis's injury is actually pretty legit serious, so I don't know if that's going to be the case with him. But
Anthony
I know
Davis
LeBron
might play tonight.
Okay, well never mind.
So yeah.
So but LeBron James on the other hand, he is one of the greatest basketball players to ever play the game. So, but he's also in his late 30s. He's getting to be late 30s. I know because I'm around his age group. So, to be fair, I can see him being more the quote the Sammy Watkins of the Chiefs coming in and getting into the playoffs and performing really well. So. It doesn't have that punch like I did the last time, guys. Sorry, but it's true in the fact that your veterans, the guys that you're really going to count on, are going to be there in the playoffs for you. So, just like Sammy was for the Chiefs, god dang it.
And maybe Sammy's the piece that could finally help Lamar get over the hump.
I doubt it. I doubt it.
You never know, though.
I never seen an NFL team win with 2 running backs in the backfield, no quarterback. Sorry. Okay, going off subject, which actually transitions us really well because we are going to finally do a live vlog. Number 6 is going to be live because next week is my favorite time. Oh, it's like a kid at Christmas. The NFL draft is coming up, guys. But now for a lot of you, they're like, what's the big deal? Look, new players coming in, you get excited. I mean, can you imagine how much more excited Chiefs fans would have been if they knew what Patrick Mahomes was going to be?
I heard something the other day that the NFL draft is to men what astrology is to women.
Okay, well, how so?
And just the fact of
I guess I'm missing the symbolism or the comparison.
Believing in something.
Okay.
Because I think there's probably a lot of bells and whistles behind the scenes that goes into playing an NFL draft.
Oh, 100%. I mean,
just sports in general.
Yeah, but for some odd reason, for me, the NFL draft. Well, and I will say, the last couple of years, last like 5 or 6 years of my life, the NFL draft has become more of a staple because I've always been kind of interested in the draft, but I've always focused on my team, as 99% of the fans and all 15 of you that subscribe to us will do. You watch your team, you're going to watch who the player is, and maybe remember.
I'm going to be leaning heavily on this guy for the draft info because I'm glued into baseball right now, so I could honestly care less about watching some college football player work out in shorts. Like that's not piquing my interest right now. So I like to sit on the couch on Sundays and get into it.
This
is your off-season guru. Right
this
here.
is and here's the funny thing is that I truly do believe that there's going to be really fun. Degenerate level gambling. Let's make some friendly bets, and that's why we're going to do this. Is because Tyler and myself, we're both degenerates. We just like to throw money around like it's water. Fair enough. So we're going to make some bets. We're going to make some live bets. We can't actually put the NFL draft on TV, so don't get that excited, guys. But we will be, occasionally letting Goodall do his thing and actually announce the players. And then we're gonna make and then I'll make an assessment, and we'll see what Tyler thinks. He'll probably think I'm either really, really too into it, or I have no idea what I'm talking about. We'll see.
So you watched the draft last year?
Oh, absolutely.
So Goodell sit in his chair in his basement in his sweater. That was the most human he's been his entire career.
You know what? I wish they would do that more. I honestly wish that Goodell should never go to the podium. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not a fan of I didn't like the whole family thing outside of just a few like actual real emotional things. Like, you knew like when Joe Burrow's family, they're like, oh, he's going to be the #1 pick. Oh, congratulations.
Yeah.
All that. See, those are not the fun ones. Here's one that you guys need to go YouTube. Javon Kinlaw. And yes, he's a 49er. Okay, but here's the reason why. If you watch Javon Kinlaw's when they get him picked, his dad is sitting on the couch, just looks like he's about to fall asleep. Javon's back here. He knows. He got the phone call from the Niners. Yes, sir, I'm going. And you see him, and he's just waiting for his name to come up. All of a sudden, his dad, it seemed like he just woke up and heard 49ers, picks Javon Kinlaw, rolls on the ground, starts throwing arms and fists because it turns out Javon's dad is a 49ers fan. So not only is your son going to play in the NFL, he's going to play for your team. See, that's what I love. I love seeing those kind of raw emotions with families. The other one, and this is one from a couple years ago, real quick. Eric McCoy is the name. He's the interior offensive lineman for the Saints. Played for Texas A&M. I love this emotion because it's not an exciting one. It's the relief one. He's sitting there on the couch. He was a second-round pick. He was sitting there on the couch with his family. Mom is crying, obviously, because she's a joy. But to see his dad grab his son by the neck, they're sitting on the couch, grab him, hold him, and just look to the sky. It's like all those years of work, all those times of, I believe his dad was a truck driver, and made it to nearly every single game that kid played. So imagine that. All the raw emotion just hit. Those are the things you look out for. Those were the fun ones.
That's probably the realest thing in all sports is watching those reactions on NFL draft day.
Yeah.
And then I think it's kind of funny on the flip side, the NBA draft, you have the same thing with the families and all of that and all the raw emotion.
Yeah.
And then there's always just John Calipari, just like, this is my guy.
Yeah.
Just slide ball John Calipari, just make sure to be there for every single moment.
Well, he did say it best when he did the ESPN 30 for 30 special. This is his graduation day for his kids.
Yeah.
I do like that. I like what he said that. It's like, no, I'm here for graduation. I mean, these are my kids. I'm going to watch them graduate, in a sense, and that's the NBA draft. Yeah. So, last one, by the way, because it just reminded me. So, Reggie McKenzie, when he was the GM for the Raiders, his son, Khalil, came into the NFL draft around 2018, 2017, around the year, and he was a 5th, 6th round pick.
Oh, yeah, I remember this.
You know who the team was?
It was the Chiefs.
It was the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah.
I've never seen a family so shocked and awed. You got to go look for the videos on all these. That's how great the draft is. It's just the raw emotional videos. Yeah. This kid is in the middle, excited, red cap on. I'm going to go play in the NFL. The rest of his family just look like they just got gut punched.
Right.
Like, you're going to the NFL, great, but you're going to go play for the rivalry team.
It's speaking of that,
so
I'm just
awesome.
out in Vegas.
Yeah.
In Vegas, you got to step it up on this rivalry. Okay, the thing we had with Oakland, it was so beautiful. I mean, just the hatred. It was the most beautiful display of hatred you'll ever see in your life.
Yeah.
The Chiefs and the Raiders. But if you don't bring that same intensity in Vegas, it's just not going to be the same.
Yeah.
So people in Vegas, you have big shoes to fill because those people in Oakland were absolutely fucking nuts.
You get stabbed out there at the O. I'm just saying.
Sit in the upper deck at Arrowhead on Chiefs Raiders Sunday.
At least you won't get stabbed, maybe.
So I hope those Oakland people, they stick to it, and I hope they can get the Vegas people on board with it.
Well, and actually, I got a story about that, but we'll save that for a later vlog. So, because, dude, I'm looking forward to it next week. Yeah. So I hope you guys tune into that one. But thank you for joining in. Again, my bad, Tyler. My bad. Man. So, but hey, we got through it, brother. Take care, guys. Peace.
That actually might be better.